Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. All right, so, ladies and gents, as you guys know, I'm an independent creator and a content curator. What that means is that I make content for a specific audience on the internet. I'm not making content for the masses, nor do I expect that my content would appeal to a wide stream YouTube audience. I have an audience that is long established. I'm a 15-year YouTuber. They love what I do. They love what I stand for. What do I stand for? Being independent, being honest, being truthful, and being loyal to my audience. That every piece of content that I put out will be meaningful and actually transparent and truthful. Not that I am taking payment to advertise a product or shill something to you. That I'm going to say something is good because I'm getting paid for it. Or on the flip side of that, that I'm going to artificially say that something is much worse than it really is for clickbait views and attention. I do none of that stuff. I have very limited amounts of commercialization and advertisement in my content. On a live stream like today, at most I'll take one ad break. And let me tell you, YouTube wants me to take tons of ad breaks. They want to automate this stream so that every 20 minutes, 5 minutes of ads run. I turn all that off. Why? Because I want my content to have meaning to you. And if you're bombarded with advertisements and paid shilling, you will never get any kind of true meaning out of my content. See? Now, I've been around for 15 years for one reason. You. Because you have all been supporting me through this journey. For me to be something different. I am really lucky to be able to still be true to who I am and what I stand for, being a content curator, because a lot of other people over the years had to change. They had to sell out. They had to completely commercialize their content. They play games only because they make a buck doing it. They have giant product placements in their content because that's how they have to get by. For me, I don't have to do that because of you. Thank you for allowing me to be different and to be true to myself. Because if I had to be a paid shill all day long, I probably would hate what I do for a living. And I'm glad that I don't answer to anyone. And instead, I can just be honest and transparent and truthful with my audience. If you like this content because of that, and you want to see this content continue, please support the stream in one of the following ways. The easiest and most instantly, not challenging way to do that is by engaging with the content. Whether that means you give a like to this live stream today because you're really enjoying yourself. Whether that means you like a video that you're watching on demand because you like it. Maybe that means you're talking with me on a stream or leaving a comment on a video. As simple as that stuff sounds and as fast as it is to do, it helps the channel. And you'd be surprised how many people don't do it because they don't think about it. They don't think, oh wow, a like or a comment on this video will help Phil. A like or talking with Phil on this stream will actually help. If you did that in all the content I did, I would actually have way more priority on YouTube to be found. But it's not something people think about all the time, nor is it something that I bring up all the time. So I want to bring it up at least once a day on this podcast. Please engage with the content. It helps a lot, all right? Now, if you'd like to go above and beyond, and you'd like to contribute in some way other than just engagement, there's many ways you can do so. You can do a super chat or a super sticker during a live stream, or if a video is eligible, you can leave a super thanks on a video. These are ways for you to get noticed either in the chat of the stream or in the comments of the video. I'll actually highlight your comment and like it and say thank you personally if you leave a super thanks on a video, and I'll give you a live shout out during a stream if you do a contribution like that during a stream. If you become a member of the channel or gift memberships to the channel, this helps a ton. Members get so many benefits, including emotes, unlimited access to the chat, meaning you don't have to abide by slow mode rules on a live stream, a cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter, and you'll get special priority for events. Right now, we've got a Halloween event coming up on October 31st, and people are nominating games for me to play during that event. If you're a member, you get to nominate twice, once in the open thread and once in the members only thread, and members specifically will be selecting multiple games for this event. So, awesome privileges if you become a member. If you'd like to help out the community at large, maybe you just like the vibe in here and you're like, I'd like to help everybody out. If you gift some memberships to the channel, it helps everyone. And I'm sure people would appreciate getting some gifted memberships. So consider doing that today as well. Thank you. Now, the final way you can contribute, and in some ways the biggest and best one, is by tipping me. Why is tipping so important? When you tip me on a stream, or if you're watching an on-demand video, there's a link in each video. You can do it then too. That's a direct contribution to my PayPal. And there's multiple reasons why the tips are so good. Number one, I get it immediately. I can put a tip towards something important literally right now that I need to put it towards. Number two, those tips have less of a percentage taken out of them than any other contribution. So it's great no matter how you contribute, but yeah, tips actually are a little bit better. And the thing is, especially with this month coming up, I've got probably 5 to 6 games that I've got to buy outright. I've got to get subscription services. Like I'm thinking about getting Ubisoft Plus to get Assassin's Creed Mirage rather than buying that game outright. With all this cost coming up, tips help tremendously right now. And so I've laid out some goals for, in general, what I'd like to be hitting for growth on the channel. First of all, I've been trying to maintain 650 members. It hasn't happened. We keep getting it and then losing it and then getting it and then losing it. So earlier this week we had it, and I said, oh, then the members goal for this week should be 675. And now we've dipped down to only 628. And it's like, well, what can you do? Members gained, members expired. There's nothing you can do about that. I would like to hit 640 members if possible by the end of today. That would be tremendous if we could do that. So think about becoming a member or maybe gifting some memberships to the channel. Now, tips. My goal is very simple. I want to hit the tier 1 tips goal every stream this week. Okay? Day stream, night stream, I want to hit that every stream. If we have a stream where we go above that, that's superb, and that helps out overall for that day. So then there's not that much of a concern if I don't hit it, say, on the other stream that day. But that would help a ton right now. That's, helps me to buy everything, pay bills, go grocery shopping, everything I need to do. That's what the tips is really there for, all right? So please consider contributing in one way or another. Now, I just got a question in the chat. Did I ever consider selling merch, signing merch, doing things like that? Can't do anything with merch. Years ago, I used to have a merch store. It lasted almost 5 years. Never had a problem with it. All of a sudden, one day it gets shut down. When I ask why, the business ghosts me. Come to find out, this was about 2.5 years ago, my hate watchers banded together and in a concerted effort started sending dozens to hundreds of complaints to every company that I was dealing with, basically telling them that I was an awful person. They started sending out of context clips from things I did over 10 years ago on YouTube, saying that I was a racist, a sexist, a bigot, a horrible person, and I didn't deserve to be part of their company and they shouldn't associate with me. And a lot of companies actually cut ties with me without ever telling me why. They didn't even have the balls to say, here's what's going on. I only found this out because someone who actually works at Twitch told me. They whistleblew. They contacted me and showed me the evidence. And I was like, wow, now I know why I'm not in the partner program, right? But it's kind of messed up that all these companies over the years have changed. They knew who I was. They know my past and that I've changed for the better, but instead they want to punish me for things I did 10, 15 years ago as if I just did it yesterday, right? Like there's no way that a human could ever grow or improve over time. I get punished for it. So anyway, since then, 2.5 years ago, I essentially have not had an opportunity to make merch. Because anytime that, oh, should I do it? Well, what's the point? Any one of these companies could easily just, again, be mass bombarded by my haters and be told that I'm a bad person, and they're so moronic, they'll just believe it. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, obviously that's not worth anyone's time then, correct? Now, I've been asking over the past year. Now I think would be a good time to maybe get back into it because I've rebranded. I no longer have the old stigmas and things associated with me that I used to. I'm a different person. I've completely changed all those things around. So now people can't try to make those associations. Like, tell me one thing I've done in the last 2 years that has anything to do with what you're talking about, right? But now I ask around, hey, do you guys know of a merchandise company that would be able to make merch and not basically bend over when people complain about stuff I did 10, 15 years ago? And no one can tell me anything. There was one merch company that was recommended. I contacted them. I actually sent them a email. And I said, here's the deal. Here's who I am. Here's the level of popularity I have. I have fans that want merch. But, this is what happened. I have this hater group following me around on the internet. And no matter where I go or what I do, they just keep trying to ruin opportunities for me. Would you be willing to look into this and or should I make an account on your site or whatever? They just ghosted me and never responded. So that's what I mean. It's probably that's the problem. I need to find a business that's not going to just kind of puss out because a bunch of my haters come and send them whiny emails. You know what I mean? I don't know if it exists. In the modern era of cancel culture, right? I don't know if it exists at all. It's sad because what have I actually done to deserve that kind of treatment? I was with Teespring, which is now Spring, for almost 5 years. They reached out to me. They designed merchandise for me. They were making shirts and things for me because they wanted me on their site. They had personal designers working with me, and they made 2 or 3 of my early shirts and everything. They knew who I was. They knew my history. They were okay with it. Over the course of 5 years, their whole culture changes, and then they kick me off the site with no explanation. Wow, what a great business, right? Anyway, if anyone has recommendations of merchandise companies who'd be willing to work with me who aren't morons, I'd love to hear it. Please send it my way. But outside, I haven't really gotten any good suggestions. Like I said, I'm not going to waste everyone's time making art, you know, or having people submit art, designing products on a site just to have it shut down within a couple days because of my haters. So I'm not going to bother with that, all right? Anyway, there you go. So that's what's going on with that, and that is why I don't have merchandise right now, because someone asked a question. Okay, I would love to. I was actually thinking this year would have been a great year around the holiday season to launch, you know, some merchandise, because I haven't done it in years and years, you know? Morons. What can I say?
I got the drip going. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean, these dumb kids. This is what it is, it's dumb kids.